Hello everyone, thank you for number 5 of the Naruto topics discussion. I was not able to get through everybody's last video because there were like 2 or 3 opinions and 1 comment, and that dragged out the whole video. So here's number 5 within the next couple of days. I usually do this every month, but you know, your voice matters of your opinions about Naruto. So here we go. This is kind of a hot take. I didn't like Sasuke's character after the 5 Kage stomach arc, which is completely fair, to be honest. Things just got out of hand, and I really hate how him and Naruto just worked together in the war as if Sasuke hadn't tried to kill Kakashi and Sakura. Yeah, that's the problem with the war arc. There was so much fan service and things that were just thrown at you all at once, which it's like, whoa, what's going on? Obviously, Sasuke joined the war because he finally made up his mind, apparently, at that moment, like, for, like, the 2nd time at that point, or the 3rd. And then Naruto didn't really have a choice. It's like, he can't fight Sasuke in the middle of a war. They're gonna get, killed if they did that. So Sasuke started to lend the hands, Naruto accepted it, his father came in, so it's just, hey, let's all team up together, even though that all of our history has not been solved yet, but we're just gonna let it happen. I mean, they were in the middle of the war. They couldn't really fight with Sasuke at the time. All they knew that Sasuke was going to be on their side, and that's all that they needed for that comfort. Like, hey, we know we have some issues, and you're a criminal, but if you're willing to help, well, then help us. But Shikamaru still told Ino and Choji to stay away from him because we still cannot trust him. Even Sakura was like, hey, what are you doing here, Sasuke? And then he was like, oh, I made up my mind. I want to protect the leaf. I want to become a Hokage, but you know, it's whatever. It was just fan service, which I do agree. They shouldn't have just accepted right away, but at the exact same time, if they all fight and discuss Sasuke's actions right there and there, Obito and Madara is just going to kill them without them even paying attention. So, yeah, there's some issues in that, and there's some fair criticism about that. So, I agree. I agree with you. There should have been something there, but it was in the war, so it's like whatever. Bye, Sasuke. Naruto's willing to team up with Sasuke despite everything Sasuke had done up until that point, and I was also annoyed at how frustrating Kakashi and Sakura were of Sasuke. Okay, so I personally believe there all should have been like a professional discussion about Sasuke's actions, but immediately after the war was over, they locked him up, and then that was kind of it. The only reason he was able to let go was because Sasuke helped everyone out of the infant Tsukuyomi, but at the same time, they did leave him off the hook too easily. The same goes for Orochimaru. They were taking advantage of his intelligence, knowing that even though he did so wrong, he was worth way too much to kill. And Orochimaru was okay with it, but even if they kill him, he's gonna come back eventually. I don't know, like, there should have been more comfort for Team 7 to work out their issues, but you know, it's Sasuke. They're just gonna give him a pass, which is completely bad. There should have been a more professional discussion of his actions, of his attitude, his behavior. But at the end of the day, they kind of just went, okay, you helped us, bye Sasuke, go on your journey, which is kind of just, it's not good writing if you look at it from that point of view. But at the exact same time, it's like if they didn't have Sasuke's help and just argued about their discussions, the plot isn't really gonna go anywhere. So, yeah. Hot take, Naruto is not about hard work versus talent because that's Rock Lee's goal. Naruto's goal is about hard work and personal versus destiny. Is that the Recarnation thing is not a bad thing for Naruto's character. Okay. We have discussed this so many times on my channel. There are mixed opinions about the Recarnation. Some people think it's bullshit, some people thought it didn't really matter. The problem that I have the Recarnation, my problem is that Naruto and Sasuke, like, it didn't really do anything for the characters. Like, they just accepted it, but it didn't really change their history of battling, arguing, leaving the village. Their talk about if they both fight, they're gonna die. Like, that Recarnation thing, like, I don't know what it was for. Kishimoto could have just given Naruto and Sasuke their power-ups without that extra dialogue Recarnation thing, because the thing what people keep forgetting is that the 6th path said, your Recarnation, Ashura or Indra, I keep getting it mixed up. Naruto's Recarnation was Densei as well, and did dumb things as well, like you did. To me, that kind of feels like the whole reason why Naruto was as dumb as what he was because he was a Recarnation of another dumbass to another dumbass, and that's why he's so dumb, because Naruto wasn't dumb because he didn't have no education from his parents because they were dead. No, Naruto happened to be dumb because he was reincarnated to be the same dumbass over and over and over again. Like Sasuke was reincarnation to be an angry attitude person every other generation because he was reincarnation, which didn't really make sense. Like, Naruto and Sasuke had their own personalities, but when you say they were reincarnations similar to personalities from other generations of those reincarnations, then you're basically saying they're not for who they are. They are just copy and paste of another person to another person. Like, that's just like that's like me saying the only reason why I have long hair wasn't because I had cancer when I was younger. I just happened to be a reincarnation of somebody who had long hair 30 years ago, and I'm going to keep getting reincarnated over and over again to a point where I just happen to have long hair. I just didn't want to grow it out for personal reasons. I just happened to have it because I was a reincarnation of another person. It's basically saying I didn't have a personal choice to have long hair. I have long hair because I was reincarnated to have it at some point. Like Naruto and Sasuke, they were destined to fight at some point, not a natural cause. They were destined to fight at some point because of the cycle of that personal battle that's been, fought for many generations. Madara, Hashirama, Naruto, and Sasuke, and the others. And Black Zetsu said it took 1,000 years to finally meet Madara from the other reincarnations, and it just, I don't know. It's like, my opinion, if you like it, you like it, but at the end of the day, people really do not agree with it, because it kind of feels like Naruto's and Sasuke's lives were not natural. They were destined to have these lives, and it just really affected how, like, it's really hard to watch Naruto and not think of Naruto and Sasuke being reincarnations. It's really hard to not think about that sometimes. It affects me a lot, and it just, I feel like what Kishimoto was doing originally, it made sense, but as time went on, he probably had regrets, and it didn't get received well, personally. But I think as time went on, he thinks back, he's like, maybe that was dumb. I'm not sure. He has not really talked about a lot of interviews with the war arc, which I'm still curious why, but that's my take on it. Like, if you like it, you like it, but most people don't like it. But if you defend it, just be careful of what you say, because people will call you out and thinking otherwise, because the reincarnation thing really affected a lot of Naruto fans, and I feel like they have every right to criticize that moment in the war arc. I think that the Naruto, no matter what he did, what he accomplished, or how hard he worked to prove himself, remained a genin for the rest of the series, while all the others were chunin. Okay, yes, I agree that Naruto should have been ranked chunin or jonin, mostly jonin, after the Pain arc. Like, the thing about Naruto is that, and this is the thing I will admit, My Academia, they're not losing track of Deku's goal of becoming the greatest hero. Naruto's journey, as it went on, it stopped being about what it was supposed to be. Like, are we going to be having a goal of becoming Hokage? Is the goal saving Sasuke? Is the goal solving the cycle of hatred? It's like, that kept being more plots being involved in Naruto's goal, where it's really hard to really understand where are we going at this point. That's the thing after the Pain arc. It's like, after the Pain arc, things just got complicated. Like, Naruto should have been jonin after that arc. Like, Kakashi even said he surpassed him at a genin. There should have been some kind of new rank for him, but no, Kishimoto just kind of like put it out the window. That's fair criticism. Like, he should have been up his game. He should have been ranked. Even though like I said in my last video, rank is just, it's just a word. Genin, chunin, jonin, it's just a word. It doesn't really defend of what you can really do outside the box. I mean, it can't really change of what you can do outside the box, because he proved everybody wrong as a genin. And even if he was ranked jonin after the Pain Saga, it doesn't change the fact that he already accomplished Sage Mode, Rasen Shuriken at a genin. Like, I don't know. It's like, I agree that they should have ranked him, but at the exact same time, everyone knows that he's at least, even if they don't mention it, everyone knows at least he's jonin level, period. That's my opinion. Maybe have one of the villains try to undermine his beliefs in Konoha by mentioning the terrible treatment he got for being a Jinchuriki, and saying that people in Konoha will never trust him and never follow him to become Hokage. Out of the fear nobody would miss him, a search for him, should he ever disappear, Tsunade come to accept him. Okay, so some people do say there should have been some harsh agreement of still denying that Naruto should ever succeed, but because of how well he did in the Pain arc and saving the village, people started to really respect him as a human being. But they kind of just contradicted that during the Turtle arc, where Naruto had to fight his true self, and Naruto's like, oh, actually, you know what? I think I don't have everyone's trust. even though they did respect me, cheered me on, and accepted me as the hero, I still don't think I have their full trust yet. Like, to me, I kind of just feel like there could have been something there to fix that issue, because everyone in the village right there clearly respected him and loved him. But when we got to the next arc, it was like, actually, I'm having second thoughts about everything of what just happened. I don't know. I kind of feel like Sanada should, since she was one of the ones to really accept him for what he was, even knowing that he was a Jinchuriki, and accepted him as a person and not a Telbeast's weapon to use. There should have been more awareness to that. I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I feel like there should have been some things fixed, but it didn't happen. But yeah, I gotcha. 6 past Naruto and Rinnegan Sasuke, 2 Rinnegan Madara and Kaguya should have happened. Okay, if they could not defeat Madara, and people keep saying that Madara got racked, or whatever, he got washed up by Naruto and Sasuke, like, they beat him up because he just got done with my guy, but literally that happened with only like the first couple of minutes. Right after he sucked the God Tree in his body, he was healed and he was ready to fight, and he had full confidence of taking him down. And still, they just didn't, even with the power-ups, they didn't accomplish it. That's why I don't like 6 pass power-ups, because they didn't do anything. Usually when a shonen main character get power-ups, they're going to win. But in Madara's case, he didn't give a shit, and he was still going to kill him. Like, I don't know what else to say. And you want to add Kaguya into that? Like, Kaguya and Madara have no relationship at all to really fight against side by side. Like, it wouldn't really make any sense. Not to mention, they would all die if you had Kaguya with 6 packs Madara. I'm just putting that in. Now, the Naruto and Sasuke versus Obito should be longer. It was very short. Okay. I can't agree. Because 6 past Obito was dragged out a while. Like a good maybe 3 or 4 episodes, and while Madara, the guy who was built up to be that next villain, Obito still kept getting the spotlight, while Madara, the guy who was built up for years, he just hangs in the background. And that's the problem. Kishimaru had to flesh out both of their characters, Obito and Madara. Obito being Jubito was kind of random because that was not part of Madara's plan. He wanted, like, the way that I see it is that Obito he was not going to actually fall through in Madara's plan. And that's just my opinion. I believe he was going to be the savior, to be the one to save the world, and claimed he was Madara, believing that whole plan of his was his, but no. He wanted to remain that Obito Uchiha is dead, Madara is still alive, which is him in the mask. I feel like he was taking advantage of everything that Madara was trying to do, because Madara wanted to be the savior of the world. Obito, he was like, screw that, I'm going to be the savior, and I'm not going to revive you back. Because in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if Obito was really going to bring Madara back while using Nagato, because I feel like Obito really did trust him as a comrade and very loyal to him. But I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I personally do believe there was small awareness that Konan and Obito were going to plan against him, and it does not have to do with anything that Obito would murder Pain. It's the fact that I do believe there was mistrust there. There were small details in their relationship that was not completely fleshed out. I don't have full information that they were really going to betray him, but Konan specifically said that I've been planning a long time, years, depending how it was worded in dub, sub, and manga, that Konan still basically, I've been planning this for like a long time. Like, I know how your ability works. I've been watching you for like the past 15 years that I've known you. Like, I know how your ability works, and there was something going on between their relationship. Like, Konan could have not planned all those billion paper bombs within like the next week after the Konoha crush and Obito started the war. Like, I don't know, because right after the Pain arc, we got right into the 5 Kagami Sonic arc within the same day. And Konan happened to already have those billion paper bombs prepped within that week or a few days time period. Like, I'm not sure. Like, real life time and Naruto's timeline are completely different. But I personally believe there was some mistrust going on. And the fact that Obito felt insulted that they betrayed him because he believed they were the most loyal to him, I kind of feel like even if Pain and Konan had planned to go against him, Obito truly believed they were loyal comrades to him, and they cared about his appearance, his existence, and And I personally think that since he did have a trust and a good relationship with Nagato of what he believed in, I don't really feel like Obito was really going to sacrifice Nagato to bring Madara back. I do believe, like, as time went on, he probably cared for him. I'm not sure, like, we don't have any context of him actually caring about Nagato as a person, but I don't really feel like Obito would have actually used him, because I feel like Pain was still very loyal. And even if he didn't get the Rinnegan from Pain, he can also tell Pain to use the Gato statue to control the Tail Beast, because if Obito can do it, why can't Pain do it? Like, all he has to do is teach him how to use the Tail Beast within the Gato statue, and then it would still be the same thing. It would just be that Pain is using the Jinchuriki to fight Naruto, Sasuke, and Guy. Like, I don't know, like I don't feel like Obito would just go up to Nagato and be like, hey, I just started the 4th war and I need your Rinnegan. Give it to me or we're gonna fight. And then even if Obito forced that battle to get Pain's Rinnegan because he needed it for the war, Konan and Pain aren't just gonna give him that Rinnegan. So at some point, they were going to fight. Like, he needs that Rinnegan to control the Tail Beast if he's not gonna make Pain do it. And Pain's not just gonna give up his eyes, and Konan's not gonna stand there. And there could have been some kind of battle if he was willing to take it from him, the Rinnegan, I mean, for the war. That's just my opinion. So because of all that conflict about what was happening, and after that betray happened, I kind of feel like he would be the one starting the war with Pain by his side, and not taking advantage of the Rinnegan to revive Madara back. I feel like after Nagato died for the Hidden Leaf Village, that was it. Like, he's not gonna revive Madara as planned. He wasn't gonna sacrifice himself. And even if Nagato didn't die, I just feel like he wouldn't have killed him. I don't know. Like, I feel like he was too loyal. Nagato / Pain, I feel like he was too much of a loyal person to just kill off. I feel like he would just let him stay alive, in my opinion. Like, having Pain and Obito in the war would have been awesome. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I feel like Konan and Pain has some mistrust going on with Obito. Obito had some mistrust about Madara, because Obito specifically said in the anime and manga that I never considered you as an ally. Like, I never trusted you like that. And Madara acknowledged him for actually having some awareness of his, of some shady shit going on between them. So, regardless, Obito betrayed Madara after getting the Tenta's Jinchuriki within him, and that was not part of the plan. Black Zetsu even said, you went against Madara's plan and have to pay for it. He used Rin Rebirth on him to become alive. Madara kicks in, jumps in, and then he becomes finally the Ten Tails Jinchuriki as originally planned. Obito double-crossed him, but Madara didn't seem to really give a shit because I feel like he knows he can take him down, even though people think that 6-Pass Obito can destroy Madara, even if it was Edo Madara. But regardless, I feel like that fight was long, actually. I feel like it was dragged out. Longer? I don't know. I really wanted to see Madara get that screen time, but because since Kishimoto had to flush out Obito, he had to get extra screen time before Madara. And then after Obito got defeated, then Madara gets his screen time. But I think I would have liked to see Madara fight more in his Edo form rather than 6-Pass form, because Madara's Edo form does come off as a cooler design. But that's just my opinion. But overall, even though I dragged this topic out longer than I should have from your comment, I'm sorry, dude, I would have to say that no, I think Obito vs. Sasuke in Naruto was perfectly the way that it was. Even though I feel like I wish it didn't happen at all, I feel like since it does exist, the 3 or 4 episodes of 6-Pass Obito was fine. I feel like it should have not been dragged out any longer, because we needed that Madara Uchiha screen time. Naruto gets at least one major good fight before his fight against Pain. With his fight with Kakuzu isn't that much of a fight. I agree. Also, no Dragon Ball Z power-ups in the war. Okay, we all, like, I made a video about that Naruto wasn't about power recently. I need to make a part 2 about that. But yeah, the Dragon Ball Z power-ups in Naruto, they went way too overboard with that. They went too overboard with that. They're really fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, they are entertaining to watch. But I keep bringing awareness to this topic. Just because I'm enjoying something, just because you're enjoying something, it doesn't mean it's good writing. It was cool. I'll say this again. It was cool to see Kakashi with perfect Susanoo. But did it make sense? No, it was bullshit writing. Just because you're enjoying it doesn't mean it doesn't know what it's doing. Like, Naruto didn't know what it was doing anymore at that point. So, and just because you're enjoying the Tail Beast bombs from Dragon Ball Z style, it doesn't mean that's what made Naruto, because Naruto relied on ninja tools, hand-to-hand combat, strategy. Like, that was what made Naruto. Sasuke versus Orochimaru proves to you this is what Naruto was about originally. So, Naruto getting one major fight in, yeah, I agree. Naruto didn't really get a good major fight in besides Pain at that time. I don't count on him smacking Deidara. I don't count him defeating Kakuzu. Kakuzu was only defeated because of plot, because Kishimoto needed to show how strong Naruto is at that point with the Rasen Shuriken. Kakuzu should have stayed alive. Let Hidan die, but Kakuzu stay and live in the war arc. But I agree, Naruto should have gotten one more good fight in before the Pain arc, but we didn't get it. Same thing about Jiraiya. I wish Jiraiya had fought Kakuzu or Heavy Sasuke. That would have been cool before fighting Pain. He didn't really do much with them. That's just my opinion. But yeah, he should have gotten one major fight in, and I think that would have satisfied everybody as Naruto as a main character. I agree. Sakura sucks for other reasons. I've talked about Sakura so much. She's misunderstood by a few things, but at the end of the day, there are good reasons to criticize her, but I just never hated her. Not because she's useless. Naruto being a Recarnation does not ruin his character. I've already talked about that in another comment. Obito is not a simp, and if you think so, then you weren't paying attention at all. Okay, Obito was deeply hurt about Ren's death. I can understand why he started the war over Ren, because he mentions it so many times in the war. But he did say to Kakashi in his face, "I did not start this war because of Ren," and he actually says it in good detail in that episode. Go find that episode and rewatch it. But Obito started the war because he truly felt like what he was doing was right, of saving the world, that everyone's going to suffer at some point, and I want to save everybody from that hell. That's why he was trying to convince Kakashi that you've been suffering this entire time, while I let that shit go. Come with me. He even told him to take his hand to go to the infant Tsukuyomi. Like, he cared about saving the world. It was not about Ren. The war arc is okay, nowhere near as bad as people say. Oh, no. The war arc was as bad as what people say. I'm sorry, but the first half of the war was just, it was not good. The first half of the war was not good. You can defend it, but I do believe the first half, like everyone else says, it's just a completely dumpster fire. So many wasted potential in the first half. It was not there. The first half sucks. I like the second half, but there was bullshit in the second half. The third half of the war is Kage, and I don't like those episodes, period. I don't like the Kage fight. It was boring as fuck. It actually has some of the best moments in the series, which, yeah, it does, but the war arc is an arc with moments. We need more than moments. We need a whole arc of being great. We don't need moments. I like the Pain arc, like most people, because the whole arc was good. Naruto's war arc, it was good with moments. Moments, not the whole journey of the war arc was good writing. I'm sorry. Most of Naruto's criticisms are false. People get sheeped by them. Okay, Naruto's criticisms are actually pretty fair. I've criticized Naruto, depending how long you've been on my channel, I've criticized Naruto a lot on this channel. If you want to be a true fan of anything, you have to do criticism. Unless, if you don't, people are going to feel like you think Naruto is the best out there and has no flaws. You can't do that. Naruto has flaws and you have to discuss them. Naruto needs better world building, not just the leaf and give other side characters screen time. I agree. We should have expanded on other villages. We talked about this in one of my other videos of this topic video. We should have ventured to other villages, which Kishimoto originally was going to do that with the Konoha 11 in part 1, but his editor told him to do the Chunin exams and introduce everybody all at once. We were supposed to get mini mission arcs, like the Land of Waves arc, but it didn't happen. That's why we need that reboot. Everyone in the Hidden Leaf village finding out that Itachi did all of them a favor after the Tsugumi plan. Yeah, I kind of feel like Kishimoto forgot about how Kakashi said, hey, we're not going to talk about the Itachi thing from Obito because the leaf is in a crisis after Pain, but we will discuss it at some point, and they never did. Everyone should have been aware of what Itachi did for both of them in those incidents. Both the Uchiha incident and both in the war arc. Like, I guess it's like Hitachi wanted, like, he wanted to be a good guy within the shadows, but at the same time, at some point, we need that comfort that everyone knows what Hitachi did. It didn't happen, and it sucks. Everyone should know how he saved everyone's life. He didn't want to kill everybody, and Kakashi should have known, we should have got more attention, have Kakashi really personally took it, because Itachi at some point was a student to Kakashi after being in the Anbu. I know that whole filler arc was filler, but at some point they have had met, because Kakashi said in part 1 that he became an Anbu captain at 13, which means they had to have some kind of relationship in the canon. And that wraps it up for another one. Wraps it up for number 5. I got everyone's other comments that I did miss from the last video, so I hope this one satisfied you guys better. Do subscribe if you want, and thank you for all of your criticism about Naruto. This is a channel talking about the good and bad of Naruto. We love Naruto, but we also have to criticize it. I'm glad I'm giving all of your opinions a chance for people to, you know, to witness it, and I'm just here to be your guide. Alright, bye.